There. Yes. There. You know who it is. It's that ugly, ghoulish figure who comes out in the dark or in the day to tell you stupid, scary stories. Now, this is a bit of a different twist. We have a guest presence amongst us. A ghost, you shall say. No, it's not a ghost. It's not a ghost, although I have seen many a ghost scamper across the floor, peeking, looking around the corners, scaring you by knocking things down, opening cabinet doors and throwing your cups in the floor, making a mess. Someone should tell them to clean that shit up. Poltergeist, how dare you? How dare you mess with me? How dare you mess with me? You clean up your mess and you get the fuck out of my house. Anyway, my fellow constituents, those who like to squat up, those who also like to burn their butts with hot sauce, those who like the Scoville scale, a guy named Tony, there, to the chefs. This story is one you may want to pay attention to closely. It has a lot to do with the things that you slaughter on a daily basis and you don't even think about it. And although some may say this story was done in the past, and it wasn't done this way. The way of Dr. Fingers and stupid scary stories. Now you know there was this chef. He thought he was like the fucking best chef in the world. And he was pretty goddamn fucking good. He was told he had crazy energy. And someone said, I wouldn't want you touching my food with that energy. You are a disgrace to chefs everywhere. Chefs are reasonable folks. They don't act like you. He was crushed! How dare this person tell him that he couldn't be a fucking chef? That you didn't want him touching your food. He was crushed! He went home. The anger inside of his mind spoke to him, became a voice. He thought it was in his mind, but it wasn't really in his mind. Or was it? I remember it more like this. He had these heirloom tomatoes he was real proud of, you know. He had a bit of a green thumb. He decided, I'm gonna grow my own heirloom tomatoes. So he did. And it was a special blend of heirloom tomato. One that you couldn't find anywhere else. Ever. You wouldn't, because only he knew about it. But these tomatoes, they were special. Alright. Very special. He gave them love and attention beyond anything else in life. He was alone, and people made him feel even more alone. So, his tomatoes, he would talk to them. And he would transfer upon them the evil thoughts and the pain and the suffering that he would go through on a daily basis. And one night, the moon aligned with the sun in a way that the energies and the gamma rays shot into this tomato sitting in the sun. Light and the moon and the energy in it. It did something inside. It turned something on. And that night that he came home angry, it spoke to him. Billy. Fuck. Billy! Yeah, it's me. The fucking... Nah, man, there's no way in the world you're talking to me, man. You're a fucking tomato. Tomatoes don't talk. Yes. Yes, Billy, we do. tomato, it spoke. It spoke to Billy. It told him how he could change his life. And Billy, at first, of course, thought he was crazy. So he went to a doctor and they gave him medication and drowned out the sound of his voice. Special wavelength in his brain. These medications just so happen to fuck with neurons and shit in your brain that medications fuck with. And he couldn't hear him anymore because, it's sort of like some psychic shit that, telepathic, but not 100% telepathic. Don't make me explain shit that is bullshit and is just for the pure purpose of being stupid and scary. Get lost in details. It's another journey into a horrible place all in itself. A loosely plotted story that makes no sense. It can drive you insane. But I digress. Let's get back to the story at hand, which is Billy and his special heirloom tomato, which is now speaking in he hasn't heard for a while. Things in his life start to go bad again. So he decides. He starts talking to Tomato. Kind of wishing it would talk back. A week goes by, it doesn't say anything. Now, Billy, he's fucking rock bottom, man. He's really feeling it. Can't do his chef shit like he wants to. He's taking the medication. He's a fucking zombie just like everybody wants him to be. There's no friends. There's no energy. He's a goddamn robot. He gets up, he goes to work, he comes home, he does nothing. He enjoys nothing. So he starts feeling like, hey, I'm enjoying nothing, I'm mad at nothing, I must be okay. Then the medication has worked. I will stop now. I'm done with this. So he stops. He says, oh, I need this. Look, he doesn't know that this medication is going to take some time to run its way out of his system, to lead the crevices of his brain that he doesn't even know exist. Those crevices of his brain that allow him to be talked to by his special heirloom tomato. So the voices, they return. Hey, Billy! The fuck, man? Fucking pills and shit. Fucking ignore me. I've been over here fucking screaming my fucking head off in a loud screaming whisper for like the past fucking 2 months. You've been miserable like a fucking son of a bitch. I don't know what to do with myself anymore. I've lost it. They won't let me be a chef. I'm tired of this job. Fucking house, and they put me on these medications, and I felt like a zombie. I was trapped in myself, watching myself live my life. But it was me. It was me. It was me. Well, listen here, Billy. I have a plan. Do exactly what I say when I say. Always when I say. And your life will be great. It'll be great. You must sell us. Split up my family, sell our seeds across the country. We are a special heirloom tomato. Once they taste the flesh, they will want more of us. Make sure they eat the seeds. Alright? Fuck, I've tried everything else. Why not sell them fucking special heirloom tomato seeds? I mean, what's the worst that can fucking happen for me? What's the worst? Well, we're about to find out what the worst is. It's something that Billy couldn't even imagine was possible. I mean, first things first, he thought he was just fucking crazy talking to a tomato. He didn't really believe that the tomato was talking to him. That's exactly what the tomato was expecting. He knew that in order for him to spread his mind control, he would have to sacrifice some of his tomato family, which he did willingly, because he knew that the seeds would spread. They would grow across the land, across the earth, across the mountainous terrain and the lush, wonderful jungles, South American basin where the Amazon River flows, and piranhas will nip at your toes if you put them in the water. Or if you take a piss in the water, that fish will swim into your penis and will try to eat you from the inside out. And women, don't think you're safe. If you pee in the water, he will swim into you too. He looks for heat and warmth. Don't know what they call it. It's terrible. And it really has absolutely nothing to do with the story that I'm telling. So, let me get back to it. Billy was unaware that he was spreading this diseased, corrupted, mind-controlling fruit across the world. They loved those tomatoes. Oh, they were in every sauce. Restaurants. Chef Cootie did a video, sliced them and diced them real good. I watched the show Cooking with Lupo. They ate several of them. There's nothing we could do. Butt Burns made a sauce. Decided maybe one day I would use this heirloom tomato. All of a sudden people were using heirloom tomatoes and things that you just wouldn't use heirloom tomatoes in. And no one thought it was strange. No one thought it was strange. But it was the mind control. It was the mind control. They tricked you into putting them in everything around. White pizzas, basil, garlic, ruby olive oil drizzled, fresh spinach, maybe a crumble of pecorino romano, a splash of Parmesan, freshly shredded at the table, off of a hunk of stinking cheese that's been aged for 6 years. Yes. It was an assault. It was an assault on the human senses, one that we weren't even thinking could happen. It was just like, what? These tomatoes are just the best thing ever. And then, before we could realize the danger we had put ourselves in, the absolute tragedy that was about to befall us, it was too late. As it always is, it's always too late. The corner was turned. This proverbial twig in the clear brush that everyone always trips over when they're running away from the monster that's only walking at like 2 miles per hour. And somehow you running at 30 miles per hour, and even though you may have tripped, somehow your dumbass can't get up. That's the type of impending doom that I speak of. That doom. The tomato. He kept whispering in Billy's ear, but now he had other tomatoes whispering in the ears of others. And eventually, they tricked the humans. They tricked them all. They made them believe that they could fly without airplanes. And that was where the problem came in, because we as humans already knew we could fly. I mean, we've been flying around in airplanes for fucking like at least like 100 years now. So it wasn't like, oh God, you tomatoes are telling us that we can fly. Well, we already know. It's called fucking Delta or Southwest Airlines. They got a terminal at the airport. Fuck you. But that's not what they meant. It began. They called the near extinction of man the failed flight of man, because it was written in the books as if we failed to fly simply because we were not capable of doing so. No one knows. Only a few of us know the true story, the history that was erased by the race of tomatoes that still control this world. We think we control it, but their seeds, they spread everywhere. Now it is the tree and fruit and flower of choice. It's yellow pollen, turning things colors, breaking you out in hives as you trudge through these pollen-laden cities. Tomatoes falling on the ground in front of your face, speaking to you, telling you to eat them, to taste them, to love them, to take part in their not very sweet to be a fruit juiciness. I don't understand how something that's supposed to be a fruit doesn't have a sweetness that makes me want to bite into it like an apple. I don't want to bite into you, tomato. I don't want to eat you. But none of us will have the choice. And that's how the tomato